All right, I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Properly noticed.
The meeting's been posted according to open meeting laws.
Roll call.
President Johnson, Trustee Harding,
Here.
Trustee Holm,
Here.
Trustee Moody,
Here.
Trustee Nugent, Trustee Seeger,
Here.
and Trustee Wisniewski is excused.
Okay. John, no comment. Larry? Okay, Larry's going to hang out. Okay, so we're going to skip citizen participation, so I will not read the long paragraph. We'll move on to consent agenda. One motion and a second. We'll approve all the following items. Any item may be pulled from the list and voted on separately.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
We'll give it to Mary. Tie goes to Mary. Questions or discussion? All's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. It's scary. We're already doing budget for 27. Miscellaneous business. Item 1, consider contracting with RE3 Legal LLC and Pruitt, Eakes, and Geary for prosecuting attorney services. Eileen?
So we've been with Hippenmeyer, Riley, Bloom, Schmitzer, and Fabian, which we'll call HRB. That's quite a mouthful. Since 2017, when we went out for a request for qualifications. Matthew Grelinski was the prosecuting attorney most recently and had reached out to me in January to let me know that due to several retirements, their firm will no longer be providing those services. They are going to be closing the firm, and he's going to be moving elsewhere. When we had initially engaged with HRB, our attorney was Ron English, and we were very happy with his services. While we were reviewing our options, he reached out to me to let me know he was interested in resuming providing those services through his own firm now, which is RE3 Legal LLC. He did say that he has some other commitments that wouldn't allow him to handle any circuit court trials. Those aren't real common, but my understanding is they are seeing an uptick in those for OWI defendants who elect to transfer cases to circuit court. So he had consulted with Pruitt, Eakes, and Geary, and they confirmed that they can provide that representation for circuit court cases, or if there's unforeseen circumstances with attorney English. So I have discussed this recommendation with Chief Swindrowski and our court clerk, Nicole, who agree with this plan. So the recommendation from staff is Attorney English, who the rate he's proposing is $5 more per an hour than the prior firm, and he's committing to that 2 years. And Pruitt, Eakes, and Geary are matching their current service rates for us, which is $195 an hour. So we feel this approach is most economical and would provide a consistency in the courts.
Do you need 2 separate motions or just one to approve?
I think one would be sufficient, approving both firms.
Okay, do you need the amounts specified in the motion? Just
the 2 firms, I think, should be sufficient.
okay. Then I'll make a motion to approve contracting with RE3 Legal LLC for prosecuting services and with Pruitt, Eakes, and Geary for additional services related to circuit court trials or appeals, as well as any backup services that may be necessary due to unforeseen circumstances beginning in April 2026.
I'll second that.
Questions or discussion on the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 2, discussion and possible direction to staff regarding TID 5 boundary changes. Eileen?
I'm not used to taking minutes and navigating the packet anymore, so bear with me here. Okay, so TID 5 boundary changes. We had approved and submitted TID 5 to the Department of Revenue in January of 2025. In December of 2025, we were notified by the Department of Revenue that we were not allowed to include the Village Square parcel because it's labeled as a gap parcel. That means there's no tax key number assigned because there's a gap in legal descriptions. The square had been included to maintain contiguous area with a vacant parcel located on the south side of the square. DOR gave us three options. One was to prepare and record a legal description. The other was to revise the TID boundary map and remove that gap area in the parcel to the south. And the third was to connect that parcel to the south using the parcels on the east side of the square. That one was not as feasible because we would have had to have another joint review board meeting, a plan commissioning, and a village board meeting. We had contemplated having a joint meeting. However, in mid-January, the DOR reached out and told us everything had to be finalized by February 16th. So they moved up that deadline. They had originally given us till the end of February to sort things out. I had Lynch Engineering do some work on the legal description and the questions we had regarding the square being a gap parcel. So we had some title work done, and it's actually a right-of-way. So it makes it more challenging because you have to go through that abandoning the right-of-way process to get the legal description, and there's some legal aspects with abandoning the right-of-way that we're concerned about. So we told the DOR we would go ahead and remove those two parcels that didn't require a joint review board meeting to do that. So the new project plan does not show those two parcels. It allowed us to get it back to the DOR in time. Otherwise, our TID was at risk of not being approved, which would have been very problematic because we already have a development in that TID. So I'm just really seeking a discussion from the board and direction. An amendment will cost approximately $11,500 just for Eller services alone. We'll also have some legal fees because the attorney has to review the project plan and those sort of things. So I'm questioning whether the board would want to delay that until we know we have a potential development, since it's, it's not extremely cheap to go through that process. Of course, the deterrent is that if a developer would want to redevelop that, they would have to wait for a TID amendment as well. Were there any questions on
That's
that?
definitely something we can do, though, at a later date. Someone comes to us, they've got a project, if they come to us early enough, we can probably squeeze that in.
I would, I would think so. I mean, we could start doing that concurrently with them going through plan commission approvals and things. It might still delay their development a little bit, but right now we're doing it very speculatively, and I haven't had interest in that parcel, so.
And we may end up further east on this to have other changes, so I would, if one of those comes up and we're going to have to amend there, then we would bring it back, just go ahead and do it then.
It's a good point.
I'm fine with waiting. Everybody
Yeah.
good with that?
Makes sense.
Okay. All right. Easy. Anything else in that?
Nope, that's good, thank you.
All right, item 3, consider additions and upgrades to the security camera system. Chief?
So staff and myself have been talking about doing some additions and update. The first one that came to mind was Vicki and her rec door. She wanted a access point put on the door there, which kind of makes sense since all her instructors are getting a badge to get into the door, but then she's also giving them a key to get into the rec room. So I think just having an access point there, then all they need is the badge, and we're not handing out keys and then she's got to run them down when the instructors are done or they're not teaching anymore. She's got to try to get those keys back. So I think it's easier just to do the badge because I can just, once the instructors leave, I can just take the badge offline and we're good to go. And then we're looking at updating the panic alarm system here throughout this building. I think there's 6 of them. There's 2 in the PD. There's 1 in the court clerk's office. There's 1 underneath the desk here. And then there's 2 in administration. The cost through Johnson Controls has gotten what I think and Jason thinks is way too high for them just to monitor if we ever have to push the button or anything. So I looked, I had Complex Security take a look at it. They can put in a new system and they're going to monitor it for the year for like $400, and we're paying close to, I think, $3,000 for Johnson Controls to do it. So I think it's just a smart idea. I think, like I said in my memo, it'll pay for itself in a year. I think just the savings. And then last year, the village received a complaint from somebody regarding the bathrooms at Mitchell Park weren't open during an event or a game at the park. And there is porta potties at Mitchell Park, but they're not handicap accessible porta potties. And this person was wondering why the bathrooms weren't open. Well, it's not really the village's, there's a key in a lockbox down there on one of the backstops. And usually the coaches are supposed to open up those bathrooms, but sometimes they elect not to, or they just forget to do it. So I think to take away that part of it, we can put access points on both of the men's and women's bathrooms at Mitchell Park. And then, but the issue is that when the bathrooms are going to be open, I'd like to have cameras on those, just in case there's nobody up there when the bathrooms are open. Like, let's say it rains all morning or something and they end up canceling games and they don't let us know. But in the afternoon, it's nice out, but the fields are obviously too wet to play. If we have kids up there or something and they're going to go in the bathrooms, I'd like to have cameras on there, so just if there's damage inside or anything like that. So I got two quotes, two separate ones, one for this building and then one down for Mitchell Park. And obviously it came, we had $16,840 in that accumulating fund. This obviously was over. The total for the two quotes was $19,000. I did have, actually, the new squad this year was a lot cheaper to put together, and some of the equipment we were able to transfer over, so we didn't use all that was set aside. There's actually $17,000 and some change left over from that, so I'd like to transfer $3,000 from that fund over to this fund to cover the cost.
And it's a great idea to do a change at Mitchell. That lockbox, I'm sure it's probably the same number that it's been forever. And a lot of people have been through there that know
Right.
that number.
Yeah.
So we
There's-
need two separate motions then?
Just one.
One motion. I make a motion to approve the quotes from Complex Security Solutions to replace the panic alarm system at the municipal building, at access point to recreation room, at access points for bathroom at Mitchell Park, and cameras at Mitchell Park for a total of $19,298.77, with a transfer of $3,000 from the squad and setup fund to replace, upgrade the security system fund.
I'll second that.
Questions or discussion on the motion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right. I'm going to handle ordinances and resolutions like I did at Plan Commission. Ordinance 2026-04, consider approval of the Plan Commission's recommendation to rezone 17 contiguous parcels as listed in the agenda, located within the East Troy Business Park north of the Honey Creek Road, to apply the mixed business/light industrial overlay district. Village of East Troy applicant.
Make a motion to approve ordinance 26-04.
Questions or discussion?
I really wanted to read them. Never mind.
No, no, no. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Ordinance 2026-05, consider approval of the Plan Commission recommendation to amend the village's zoning regulations, Chapter 510, regarding notice requirements for conditional use applications.
Make a motion to approve ordinance 2026-05.
Questions or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Staff reports, municipal court, February 2026. Any questions there? February financial report, very early in the year. I will say on the financials, we were just talking about security equipment. I got some news from some of our suppliers at work today. If you're buying or have plans to buy any technology equipment, would buy it now, like in the next week. Especially anything with RAM in it, any computers, because RAM prices are through the roof because of AI. And then everything going on geopolitically. Committee reports, draft plan commission minutes, we pretty much just approved what was there from last week? Okay. Then I will move that we go to closed session under Wisconsin Statute 1985 1G to confer with legal counsel as to strategy regarding litigation which the village is or are likely to become involved pertaining to the village's offer to purchase with Bryan Land Development for parcel RXUP 00256 and 1985 1E to discuss the village's bargaining postures and negotiation strategies with respect to potential TID4 developments, cell tower lease, and farm leases.
I'll second that.
Roll call?
President Johnson.
Yes.
Trustee Harding.
Yes.
Trustee Holm.
Yes.
Trustee Moody.
Yes.
Trustee Nugent. Yes.